We're at the Union Reservoir. I want to make something clear with everyone. The reason why I'm pulling out up here is we're camping. You see, here's the Union. Okay, folks. Right over this peninsula is where there's about maybe a half mile, not even. I'd say maybe a quarter mile. And then you hit the Utica Reservoir, and our camp spot is just directly over this. There's a hill right here of granite rocks. We're just over this. And so I'm going to park up here, and we're going to hike along the Union, where I heard those vocalizations, and see if we can find any tracks or, you know, get some good photos of that peak also to the right. You can see it. You can also see it from the Utica, but you see it much better here because you have less foliage and obstructions. Campers right there. I can camp right here, right? Right here. I mean, park right here.
Wait, what?
Why not? It's just a little side spot. As long as I'm not sticking out on the road. It's a very windy day. On and off, we've been battling winds on this entire trip. I know there's hundreds of yellow jackets. Just walk through them, dude. They won't sting you. As long as you're calm about it. And don't step on them either. This body of water is much more open. Less coves, inlets than the Utica Reservoir. But they are sister reservoirs side by side. Like I said, they're only separated by this little, about a quarter mile up this hill, and then our reservoir and camp here is on the other side. But this is where the vocalizations came from, is over the hill where our camp is, somewhere over on this primitive side of this reservoir. It's not a bad little spot, and you can get a spot right on the lake up here, which is what I prefer. I like lakeside camping sites, so I have access to the water for my dogs, for cleaning up, fishing, all that good stuff. You can see the water came all the way up to those trees. So the water levels are definitely lower than they should be. Water's deeper here. They say the fishing's a little better in this reservoir also. But there's more people that camp here. Utica's a little less crowded if you're looking for some peace and quiet. It's much more open than the Union's open, more open space-wise than Utica. Utica tends to have a lot of the inlets and... Oh, that's so stupid.
It's not that wide.
Jared, where are you going? You gotta go up to the left and back around to the other side. So we have the Utica Reservoir. As you can see, here's the dam to the Union Reservoir, and then here's the Utica Reservoir right below, just 50 feet below. Like I said, less than a quarter mile, the two are separated by. In this case, it's just a few hundred feet at this exact location. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to the Utica. And yeah, I wanted to spend more time on the Union. However, you can't cross the dam. I can cross below it and go up. We'll see what happens, but I want to try to enjoy the best of Both worlds hiking here, both reservoirs. It's not exactly prime real estate for hiking back here. I gotta climb. Huh? There we go. Perfect. This is where the vocalization occurred. The vocalizations that I heard occurred in this area. And that was my main goal, is to come out where I heard the vocalization, see if I could find any tracks out here. That's why I decided to not go to the other lake I stated earlier, because this is more important. If you hear vocalizations coming from a certain area, it needs to be investigated, examined for tracks. Because that means maybe something was drinking water on the shore and it vocalized. Around sunset is when these Bigfoot creatures will come out, get a drink, and they're pretty active, they're pretty noisy. They really are. You can see, folks, the dam spilling out, connecting to the Utica Reservoir. And just above us is the Union. Huh? The water's just kind of spilling on over into the Utica. Look at that. Right there. Oh yeah. That's funny. Hiking below the dam and meeting back up with the Union Reservoir. We went from the Union to the Utica to the Union again. Wow. We're actually up here. That's cool. Little primitive camping site. Yeah. Yeah, they don't want you on that.
Group camp 2.
Group camp?
Yeah, group camp.
Oh yeah, well you can camp back up in here. But you gotta hike in. Oh. It's wider once you get over here, dear.
Yeah.
You're not going to fall in and die.
Dude, I look how freaking short.
No, it's wider because this is an earthen dam.
No, I'm saying the water.
Oh, yeah.
Just step in and it'll be above, lower than your knee.
See, look, dude,
I
it's
stepped right here.
it's pretty wide. Well, no, right here is deep.
Yeah. That's how you go down over here. Look at Rocky next to you. He's just chopping up slowly.
Hey, Rocky, come here.
Oh, look at that big ass fish. Oh, that's not a fish, it's a rock or something.
Why not?
Because.
If it's 10 feet or 6 feet, he can still swim to the rocks.
No, not this part.
What do you mean, not this
No,
part?
not this part.
That dog's not listening to me. I throw his ass in.
No,
He's just coming to check on me.
Yeah.
Dad, he's like
He keeps back tracing. That's all he ever does. Goes up a cliff, down a cliff, up a cliff, down a cliff.
There's no way to get out.
There is.
He's a dog. He'll find a way out. So, folks, we're gonna cross this dam. As you can clearly see, it looks narrow from far away, but when you get up here, it's kind of an earthen dam. little bit of, looks like a little bit of homemade concrete that's put together with. Yeah, well, we're going to cross the dam and then we're going to get over somewhere here so we can get a nice view of the reservoir, and then we'll break and head back. This looks like the Stanislaus River right here. See? This is the Stanislaus River.
It's like Mud Lake.
Yeah, well, I've had some Bigfoot experiences up along the river, so I know they're here. It's pretty peaceful back here. It's deceiving. It's swampy back. The river's very swampy, huh?
Water is orange.
Yeah, it's algae, I believe.
Don't want to drink that, dude.
I've seen orange
All
up
right.
in New Jersey like that.
Hike around.
No, we're going to go across and get up on the peninsula.
This way, dude. Okay, now it gets back.
Well, it does get, it's probably like 10, 15 feet there. Yeah, this is the Stanislaus River. And some parts of it, people go whitewater rafting. In this area, it's just all swampy, trickling with lily pads, you know? That's what they did. They trapped the river to form the reservoirs right here. So they could, you know, harvest the water. How much you want to make a bet? Remember how we heard vocalizations? Our camp's over in this area. You know why? Well, check it out. It's very grassy. It's secluded. Not a lot of people are going to cross the dam to come back here. It's muddy. It's a good area. This is a good area for Bigfoot to kind of graze. There's an open meadow. Deer come to drink here. They come up to the edge where the grass is. Deer love this kind of terrain. And then you have, you know, you might have Bigfoot who might utilize this meadow in this area of the river. And he'll swim out, right? All right. Here we go. Now we're above the dam, and now look, folks, it's a pretty big reservoir. It doesn't look this big when you stand on the lake shore, when I first parked. Then you come around the peninsula, and you're like, holy shit, this reservoir is huge. Let's go over there and break. Nice spot, huh? Look at that rock. I mean, it's just awesome. You have to hike back here to see this type of thing. You can't see this from the road, and you can't see it from where I parked. But if you hike back here, oh yeah, you can see the mountains, and it is beautiful. It is beautiful. You gotta work for it. Nothing's ever handed to you in life. If you want to see Bigfoot, go in the hike, climb a few cliffs, hike in the brush. You'll find them. You want to get good fishing, hike out where there's some primitive shoreline. You want to see good scenery, hike a few miles into the wilderness. See what you can see. But there's a nice little spot to break at down here. And we'll break and then we'll head back. I got a little pond we'll check out, and then we'll have lunch, and I got sandwiches, beer and bratwurst. All in all, folks, it's just about enjoying yourself, having some adventure, spending time together, and eating well. If you're going to be out here, you might as well eat well, have a good time, drink a few brews. That's the right thing to do. And this spot's absolutely gorgeous, and it's private, and there's nobody out here. It's like I drink a brew and relax, and there's not a soul that's going to bother me. Not a soul. The peace and serenity is so wonderful. This is the Lord Rick of the Paranormal Ghost Society. This is the area we heard the vocalizations. I don't know if we'll find any tracks or hear samples, but if we do, I'll be sure to let you know and collect anything I can collect, even if it's some measurements of some tracks. It's a nice dirt area, so you might find a track in here. Huh?
There was a really good spot up there. What's your spot?
Well, what do you mean a really good spot? Yeah, but then you can't see the scenery here. Well, we got shade here. We can find shade up over here. I mean, it's a very large reservoir. Spicer's just over that ridge where those peaks are, kind of. Over in that direction, I believe. I don't know, Jared, it's fine in here, son. It's not that hot out. Right here is fine. All right. Yeah, man. Why not? This is nice. Nice flat rocks up here. See? Yeah, but it's nicer. You get a nice view right here. Fuck away from me.
It's because you smell like oranges. To go?
No. Watch, it'll get real cloudy around that area after the chemtrail disperses. That's how they do weather modification. They do ionization and all that. And the military will, to stop global warming, they'll spray, not spray, but they'll run the chemtrails. And then a few hours later, you'll see dark clouds form around it and it'll start raining. I've seen it a few times hiking in the last 5 years where you see 5 or 6 of those. And then all of a sudden, a few hours later, you still see them in the sky, but they're dispersed and there's gray clouds and it starts to sprinkle. Weather modification. And it's been many countries attempt it to try to figure a way around drought and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how safe it is. I'm pretty sure that some of what they do could cause cancer if exposed to it on a long-term basis, you know. Little rock skipping. This is such a beautiful reservoir. There's not a soul in sight. It's our last expedition of the year as far as Bigfoot goes. I do some winter Bigfoot investigating, but a lot of what we do in the winter months is ghost hunting and ghost town expeditions in northern Nevada. We also like to go out of state and check out some cool places. You can't access this area in the winter. You'd be under 20 feet of snow. If you get stuck back here, you'll freeze to death. But right now, being that it's autumn, it's a beautiful day. And so we're standing before the Union Reservoir, and we hiked out to that peninsula right there to have a nice little picnic and drink some brews, smoke some cigars, and we're about to head out. This is Lord Rick, your founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society. Just over these ridge lines is Spicer Reservoir. And we're not going to have time to go to Spicer. It's an entirely different trip. But you can see it's a rock jungle back here. We're on Union Reservoir. We went hiking. It's the 25th. The third day of our expedition. When I was filming last night, I think I made a mistake. Said it was the 24th, but it was after midnight, so it was the 25th. I went hiking about midnight, maybe 1 a.m. last night. And the primitive, well, it's all primitive, but I went primitive, no trail or anything. I just kind of took the night vision camera to see if I could hear any vocalizations or tree banging, that kind of thing. I heard a branch break. I also heard, well, there are animals in the woods, but I also heard what sounded like an object being thrown at me. I've dealt with these creatures for a while. Like humans, some get very agitated and irritable. Others are more passive. Just like some might be territorial or aggressive if they don't want you there. On Highland Creek is Spicer Reservoir. I almost made it there, hiking on foot one time from Highland Lakes. But Highland Creek is a tributary of North Fork of the Stanislaus River, which you're going to see the Stanislaus River coming up. There's a large meadow. It was named for the Gabbett family of Pelona ran a dairy herd along the creek, and in 1990 was flooded for the construction of a 262-foot high dam, part of the Northern California Power Associations and the Stanislaus River Hydroelectric Development Project. Which spans about 60 miles in this region on the western slope of the Sierra Nevadas, which includes the Spicer Reservoir, 2 diversion tunnels and dams, and then you have McKay's Point Reservoir, the Collarville Powerhouse, power transmission lines, Union and Utica Reservoir, which is the region we're at currently. All right, there. So it's a nice September day. Like I said, when it gets winter up here, it's treacherous. And that's when these Bigfoot come down off these higher mountains you see in the region. And it's great for finding snow tracks if you could get back here. But we're very limited in the winter. So we have to go with the seasons when it comes to the Sierra Nevadas. And, you know, we had a couple mile winters where it hardly even snowed up in this region. And those were some of my best Bigfoot investigations because we were able to come on up and get access to areas. We were able to access some areas. And no, she's peeing. We were able, hold on a second. And we were able to access some areas of the Sierras that normally you don't access in the winter. Therefore, you know, rather than it being snowy, it was just muddy. At times we were able to find some good tracks and evidence. So this is one of our last Bigfoot expeditions of 2016, and boy, it's been a good one. The last few expeditions we've had up in this area, the Sierras, have been not only breathtaking, but we've also collected quite a lot of Bigfoot evidence and had a lot of experiences that were strange, all the way up from Bowman Lake down to the Utica Reservoir. North Fork of the Stanislaus River, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of lily pads out there. I suggest if you decide to come out here, please do. It's a very pretty, scenic area. If you're like me and you're into the whole Bigfoot phenomena, you're going to love this place. I mean, there's all kinds of weird tracks, vocalizations, strange things, even a ghostly little girl. You found tracks, or?
No, I think I know where the tracks are.
Did you see any tracks?
Way too open. Back here is a low pond area, and it's really muddy. Back into the track. But there's some left.
They sit in a little pond or.
I didn't check it there, but
That's a good area to remain hidden.
yeah.
Back in here.
Yeah, I know. So we're walking out here and stuff. So, there's a lot of brats out there. So something's been using this place.
Oh yeah, something's been coming through.
Something's been using this place. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Because it was a good track session. Yeah. So, like, see all the grass is down?
Yeah, I see.
Like, so step right here, like, and see, the impression still sticks.
Right.
So something was walking through here and using the water.
Oh yeah, come right up to the edge. It's
Yeah.
clean, clear water.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can see the bottom. It's clear.
Yeah.
Something did mow the grass down.
Yeah.
Could be hikers, but I don't know. Let's see, here you go. You had some mud here, but I don't see no impressions.
Yeah. But it was like indents, you know?
Yeah.
I found some.
Well, yeah, something came through. You can see the grass is mowed down. But I mean, it could be an animal too, you know?
Yeah.
Deer can continue to use the same path. I don't see deer tracks, so I don't know. Flat foot, yeah. It's pretty hidden. And not a lot of people are going to know about this little body of water back in here. It's a way for something to remain elusive without standing on the reservoir to the shore.
See, Dad, I could just like this and lean over and grab some water.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's all we're going to find for here, though.
yeah.
I mean, you can tell it's all mowed down. I mean, somebody or something came through.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh my god. I can jump in.
Come on. All right, man. Let's go back to Tammy.
Yeah. But you can tell that something's been back there.
Oh, yeah, something's been trampling through this area. I can't say what the... it could be anything, man. It could be anything, you know.
Yeah.
It could be Bigfoot, deer, bear. It could be anything.
Yeah. See, you can see the impressions and stuff. You just don't see toes and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Parkour chipmunks.
It was the funniest thing I was done. It was a hardcore chipmunk.
Oh, some flowers. Let's put camp back in here too. And they may be going up to the water to fill their pots and pans and boil it. You don't know, dude. You just don't know. I have to have better tracks to say that I'm almost certain. And those aren't really good enough. But it's good to keep an open mind and theorize. It doesn't hurt to theorize and form a conclusion, or at least get a thesis going and build off of that. You know, there's science to what we do, but the science makes sense. And the science is that anything could have been back here, including Bigfoot, but we don't know. But scientifically, if you were a Bigfoot-like creature, it would be easier to go to that clear pond, scoop some water in the palm of your hands, have a drink, and no boaters are going to see you because it's down in there in the woods.
Really muddy.
Yeah, and it's muddy, and it's, you know, well, that's the area I heard the vocalizations. Last night I heard some, and they came from over. See, there's the Utica, the reservoir, through the trees where we're camping on. The vocalizations are coming from over here, between the two reservoirs, which makes me believe that this is an area that they use for watering, maybe fishing. So it is very possible, everyone, that Bigfoot may come back here as a watering hole, maybe to gather water. It's hard to say. Even fish. I've heard of this creature being found in the water grabbing fish, and just like a bear do it all the time. Grab salmon. It's a meal, a good meal for a Bigfoot or a grizzly or any type of bear or a large predator who can catch those fish. So when you put that into retrospect, it's good to keep an open mind and try to understand that people, humans, animals, and Bigfoot alike will use watering holes like that. It's fresh water, it's not stagnant, and it's very calm, and they can remain elusive in the forest without a kayaker or a hiker ever seeing this creature. Ever. And there's where we're camping. All the way over there. And that's where I heard the vocalizations, somewhere in here. So it is a good area to check for tracks, at least. And at least I did it. Even if we didn't find nothing, I did it. I still looked, and I made the effort. Which is more than what most cryptozoologists ever do in this field. Most of them set up camp, and they're like, oh, we're going to look for tracks behind our tent. You know, we actually go out and we hike, and we physically look for evidence that we can find. I see them. I just step over. Ugh. Yeah, you're right. Well, you know, like I said, the location's prime. I heard a lot of vocalizations from this area that we're at. And so I decided today that we would hike out and at least look and see if we could see anything, find anything. I know.
You're way too hardcore.
Who?
Us.
Yeah.
We're too hardcore hikers.
Well, I'm pretty hardcore when it comes to outdoors.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's when you come up here.
Do a little rock climbing. Go up to the top of the dam, almost be back at the truck.
See all the water.
Huh?
You can see the water.
Yeah.
Unless you, I'll go yoga this way. Parkour time.
Parkour time.
Yep. I need parkour. There's some fun of the huge rocks.
Oh yeah, there's some rocks scrambling up at where we're at.
Yeah. Careful, bro. Any brains?
I got them all. You can see a lot how the water level's so low over here. That's where it goes up to. Utica's really low. The Union at least seems to be, it appears to be a little low, but it's not like this. The Utica should, I mean, the water should come right up to the wood line, you know? They say we're going to get a hell of a winter. I know it's going to be an early winter, which means that this reservoir will probably no longer be low after this winter until the next drought happens for 4 or 5 years. It's the way it rolls. It's the way it works. There's a road up here, or a dirt path. Oh yeah. Pretty nice. Rascal, get over here. Yeah, he's about to go back on the leash up here. Here's the path right out to the where we were. Nice little dirt trail. Came out of the woods right below, and we're back on the Union Reservoir. It's pretty nice. It's definitely worth hiking out here. I always camp and hike in new areas throughout the Sierras, and the more places I see, the more I want to continue to do what I do. And I find that most locations have some sort of Bigfoot activity, some more than others, but most of them have some strangeness, or I have more questions than I do answers. We're on the west end of Union Reservoir, and just over the hill is Utica. Less than a quarter mile. There's multiple dams in this location. You also have multiple creeks, and so they dam off the creeks, the rivers, and then they conserve the water and use it for hydroelectric power and fresh drinking water for the residents of the smaller towns throughout Calaveras County. Oh yeah. Huh? Watch the tree. Huh?
I'm going even higher. You ready?
Come on, dude.
Yeah, you're trying. It's freaking. Yeah. Dude, no, go all the way back and swing on it.
Yeah.
It's scary but fun.
Here.
Yeah. You're gonna like it. It's so fun, but like, don't let go.
EGS rope swing.
It's all the way up there.
Ready?
Yeah. Dude, sit on it. Like, go all it.
Dude, I'll drag ass.
No, you won't. Just put your feet up as high as you can. Go all the way back. Go all the way back.
Dude, I'll drag
I know that. Go all the way back and sit on it. You won't drag. Trust me. All right. All right. Now keep on going back. All right.
No, dude, I'll hit.
No, you won't. Put your feet up as fast as you can. See? See, that's scary, isn't it?
Here. You filming?
Yeah. Go as far back as you can.
I am, but my fingers killing me.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Utica Paranormal Ghost Society, but this is not a paranormal video. This is for my friends who are into crossbows, who totally love the outdoors. And this is a 425 ballistic gold point arrow and a center point Sniper 370 crossbow. Center point makes BB guns. They also make two crossbows, the Center Point and the Tormentor. The Tormentor is heavier, but they both have similar statistics. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to hit, I'm going to probably go for a bigger target like the box, just for starters, because I have to get the sights lined up. This thing could shoot a quarter from 50 feet away, especially with about a 450, 500 grain arrow between the tip and the arrow itself. I'm using 500 grain. This bow likes heavier arrows. I got a scope. It's got red and green dot sight.
Having fun? Oh no, not the can. I was kidding.
It has green and red dot sight. It also has an adjustable stock. You can go in or out. Oops, I don't want to go that far. About a 3. You always want to lean up to your shoulder. There's a double safety. Not only this, but you got to hold this down while you push this, and you need to be very
Watch your fingers.
careful. Okay. There you go. Hold it steady, always keep your arms.
Oh damn, it's so close.
Dude, it skipped.
Yeah.
We get it.
Alright.
There's no recoil.
Yeah, you have to watch your fingers as well.
Yeah, I know.
Right back, come back.
Oh shit. It snapped.
So everyone, I'm going to have to adjust the string on my crossbow. It is frilled and unshootable, but I did shoot an arrow and I kind of flinched last minute. I don't know, maybe it was because of what happened to the drawstring, and so I almost skimmed the top of the box of soda out there. But I'll put a new drawstring on and wax it up, and we'll take it out near my house to fire it in a couple days. That's what I'll do, because it's a really fun crossbow to shoot, and this crossbow can bring down. This crossbow can easily bring down a moose or any large game in North America. Anything in North America, this can bring down. A grizzly might take a couple shots. I mean, they do have a thick hide, and they could be 1,000 pounds. However, I have heard stories that people have brought down large game with this crossbow. I've watched a lot of videos and reviews, and I'm pretty impressed. It's got a lot of kick and power, but you got to make sure that you have the right arrows for it. Wax your string, all that good jazz, or otherwise you're going to end up breaking your drawstring. Or if you don't have, the guy didn't give me all the equipment to the arrows, and it caused it to snap. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll fire it in a few days. We can go up near our house and set up a few targets and shoot it a few times, you know. We live right on the edge of the mountains. We live in the mountains, what am I saying? So, it's pretty cool though. It has a scope. I mean, it has really good range. You could probably shoot this from 300 feet away and still hit your target. I didn't hit my target. Like I said, it was the first time I ever fired this crossbow. But I will say one thing, it's very smooth, the scope is really cool on it, and it has 370 feet per second, 110 kinetic energy. Statistically, therefore, it makes it one of the best bows you can get. It's not a mediocre bow, it's a high-end bow for the price that you pay. And they are going up in price. Right now you can get them as low as $280, but I've seen them as high as $500, so get them now because they're becoming very popular for hunters. And once that happens, these bows will always be expensive. You will not get them on sale. So this is Lord Rick. We're going to go ahead and target practice with something else. We got plenty of other things we can do here. And we'll pack up camp and cook some bratwurst and make a day of it.
It's only on 3 minutes, so.
I know.
Okay. Ready?
Stop.
This is unlock.
Where's the unlock?
On the bottom.
This?
Yeah. Push it forward.
Oh, okay. That's why.
Yeah. Silly. Well, you suck. I hit most of my shots. Yeah, I did.
You hit most of yours. Dude, I
Yeah.
was aiming for that little can from this far away with the BB gun.
Oh, yeah? Guess I see all those holes in that can? That's all for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Dude, that arrow would have went right through that can.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me, they just go right through. They don't even stick. They just go.
The bed. You know. Alright.
Dinging it.
Dinging it.
Ding dong.
Sorry, that was my fault.
Give me one I can look up. The Bills and the Cardinals play today.
Oh, yeah.
Cardinals and the Bills. Yep. Cardinals are doing quite good. So we got a lot. Well, they're not this year, but
Oh, damn.
I had the sun in my eyes. Couldn't even see it. I just reached my hands out and hoped for the best.
Yeah.
You ready?
Finally.
Ready for mine? Yeah.
The hell was
That
that?
was a little bit too hard.
I hit the branches, but I still got to.
I just stood there. Didn't move to me.
That was a one-hander.
Yeah, right? Come on, Chad. Not mine. Oh, got it.
Oop, oop, oop. It's running away down the hill.
I dinged it off my elbow.
Oh, that's funny.
Does it count?
What? I'll show you what counts. Told you. That doesn't count.
Try putting them higher, dude. I'm old.
You want them
You
higher?
can't expect me to bend down to the
Oh,
ground.
okay, I'll show you what high is.
Like that, high.
Okay.
Well, that was a little long.
I can throw them really high. Ugh.
He can throw them high, you just can't get them to me. Look how short that was. Watch, dude.
I'm still going,
If I
okay?
throw them to you, have the sun in my eyes.
I like how the Parker did that.
When I catch them with the sun in my eyes, it's very difficult
Yeah.
because I can't see the ball.
That was maybe too far.
Maybe too far. It hit my knee and came back to me. Oh.
Big spiral, dude.
Oh.
So first. Ready?
Yeah, right.
Oh.
I messed up.
You messed up. Oh.
So everyone, I didn't hit my target because when the drawstring broke
Ready?
and the arrow, hold on, When the drawstring in the arrow broke, it threw it off course. That is why you must never put your hands anywhere other than the below the crossbow on the handles. What? That's why you must never put your hands above, because you will lose a finger, you will lose a hand. Trust me. Always keep everything below, especially if my hand was anywhere where that string broke, it would have snapped and probably sliced me open. I'd need stitches. You just got to be careful. These are not toys. Well, they're man toys, but you know, you don't want your toys to injure you. Okay, kick it. Whoa.
There, I messed up.
Dude, that's like an onside kick. It's bouncing everywhere. You ready? Look, it came back to me. I caught my own kick. There, how's that? Yeah! That was way up there, man. Oh! It just hit look, Rascal's got a football mark right in his side.
Aw.
A dirty football mark.
At least it didn't whack your camera. That's what I was worried about.
Right.
You struck your knife. You should just take it off while you're playing this, or leave it here, because it'll fall out and you won't notice it. That happened last time we were playing football, remember?
Yeah, I know, but I'm right here, so. Oh, come on.
Oh, Rascal, you're all dirty now. I don't think the tree's playing, baby.
He can catch it off the tree when it bounces.
No!
There it goes in the woods, gone.
No, it's not there.
No. Threw it to the tree. I know. Trying to hit Tammy, or are you trying to hit me? He's trying to hit you.
Come on, brother. My arm gave out, sorry. My arm belly gave out. No, what?
That's a good throw.
Yeah, I know. That's good kick. Alright.
You're too close to take.
What?
Throw it to me. Too close.
There you go. Outside.
Here I go. I don't even get to get my catch my own ball. I gotta go friggin' touch it too. What kind of football is that?
Ah!
That hurt?
Yeah.
Good.
I missed that one.
Oh! Stupid
Ready
tree.
for the spiral?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that damn tree. That's okay, though. I still got a pass. Put them up high. I almost had it. It was just too high. If it was a little lower, maybe.
Yeah.
But I like them high because it gives me room to.
I know.
I think he's had too much today.
Looks that way.
Oh!
Oh,
That hurt.
there's mine.
There you go.
Off the trees.
Oh!
No, again. I'll go get it.
You should. I'm old. A few more catches, Jared, because my finger's hurting. My finger's hurting.
Your
My
finger?
Fingers hurt.
Side.
Finger?
Oh, it's hard to get it.
Not like that. Don't get it to me, Dad. Not like that. Last one. You won to me. Done. Play a board game. Little easier at the arm.
Boring game?
Oh,
There's
a good throw. there. One more.
Got it.
I had the sun in my eyes.
You always got the sun in your eyes.
Well, folks, it's a Sunday, the 25th of September, 2016. Sun's going down fast. Tammy and I are packing up camp. Yeah. Thanks, Rocky, for the entertainment. Animal porn, live on Paranormal Ghost Society. Did not expect that. Okay. Anyhow, as I continue on, is what I was saying. The winds are picking up. We're going to be heading out of here. I'm going to cook some bratwurst, some green beans. Just fuel for the ride home. I got quite a drive home. And really, Rocky? Seriously, dude? I'm filming here, for Pete's sake. Give me a second. I got to get the suitcase, which weighs 250 pounds. No worries. You're welcome. So we're going to I got the suitcase. We're going to take this tent down. Jared's passed out. I hiked him. We played football. As you guys know, I film and document all my adventures, and I kind of let people see I show my friends how to live, basically, because too many people just hide in their houses. They don't really enjoy life, and every trip that I camp on, I try to target practice. I play football. I play board games. I hike. I fish. I raft. I mean, I do everything. Stargaze, UFO watch, Bigfoot hunt. But I try to keep active, even at my age of 41. And so, we're going to be... I don't know why it's so bright. We're going to be heading out, and obviously we don't want to pack the truck up when the sun's down, because visibility will be hard. It gets very dark here at night, and especially without the moon, it's extremely beautiful to look at the stars, but at the same time you can't see anything. You can't see anything. You drop something on the ground, you got to grab your lanterns, your flashlights, and look for it. It's not like you have enough light out here where you can say, "Oh, I dropped my lighter on the ground. Let me." Dude, he's going like fucking crazy, man. Look out you can't see out your back window. Look. Oh my God. He was hardcoring it, man. And Rascal's sleeping out cold. The dogs have hiked for miles, and the little ones still got enough energy to fuck. The big one's like, I just don't care. It's like, I'm miserable. Get me out of here. So I'm going to deflate the raft. Tammy's going to deflate our hair mattress. We're going to take all our trash out of here. It's appropriate to clean up. What the hell? What is that? You guys hear that? somebody or something up there. There's something moving around up there pretty big, but I can't see nothing. He's whining at it. I heard it. It's somewhere back up. I hike back up on those rocks at night. It's spooky as hell up there. It's a lost world. I don't know, folks, but as I was saying, we're gonna pack up this camp before dark. I'll cook some bratwurst and then we'll head out of here. We gotta travel through Ebbets Pass to get home, to get up to the Reno, Carson, Lake Tahoe area. But I'll tell you what, it's been nice. This has been a great trip. This is our last expedition in the Sears, probably, until 2017. Now, I can still come up here and visit the Sierra foothills. We're on the Sacramento Valley side, because all year round they stay pretty warm. But if you decide to travel here in the winter at these elevations, expect the roads to be gated, inaccessibility due to snow, and due to a tremendous amount of heavy winter weather and various storms that'll continue to sweep through the area. So we won't be camping here until next year. Not camping at this spot, because we like to camp somewhere new all the time, but we won't be camping in the Sierras until probably next year. And next year I have some plans for us. We're going to go camping on the edge of Yosemite down in Bridgeport. That part of the Sierras is gorgeous. It is Yosemite. I mean, it's all Yosemite, but you can camp on the edge. They have glaciers out there. They have multiple scenic lakes, just like this. They have big peaks all covered in snow, cliffs all coated in snow throughout the spring. So we're gonna do something different next year, and we're gonna travel out to near Yosemite to go. What are you looking at, boy? And we're gonna come out to Yosemite next year. We may even come back out this way to do another camping trip. Who's out there, man? I mean, I heard it too. Somebody is out there. There is something out there. I don't know what though. And Mr. Creepers is seeing us pack up. He's been like walking between the trees watching us and shit. Fucking weird ass fucking people, man. So we're gonna pack up tent. I just want to film one of my last videos before I leave the area so you can see our camp being packed up. You just fold it in half and then just roll it up. There's a bag attached to it. Stuff it in the bag.
Oh,
see it? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Oh. I did. I don't know. Oh. That's a new hammock. I gotta learn all the tricks and the trades in the new hammock. It's beautiful camping this year. It's one of my favorite things to do. Just get away. And as I was saying earlier, I film these for my friends. That's why I do the films. Mainly for my friends and my paranormal members who really want to see what it's like to live. What it's truly like to be a cryptozoologist or to visit a pristine... What it's truly like to visit such a pristine paradise like this and to share it with others. And what it's like to take the road less traveled. I don't know. And remember, folks, when the pavement ends, adventure begins. And I want to try to show people that there's another side to life besides sitting at home watching your television. So I kind of give you a bird's eye view, a look into my world, in the world that's less known about right before your eyes. And so that's why I do these videos. The more we add to the internet or online, or the more content, the more people get to learn and experience things, and it helps them decide if they want to live a life where they can enjoy the outdoors the way I am. Camping, fishing, hiking. All those things, as simple as they may seem, are truly the wonders of living. And you know what they say, simplicity sometimes is paradise. And this is simple as it gets. Just camping on a lake, spending time with family, going adventuring, and I get to share it with all you. I can't ask for more than that. Hammock's packed. I'm going to deflate the raft. I'll be back with another video or two before we leave this evening. This is Lord Rick. Check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org, for adventures like Utica Lake and many adventures just like this one, Utica Lake, and more. We're going to show you a world beyond. We're going to show you a world beyond your eyes. So hold on tight and embrace the journey. We're at Utica Lake, California, in the Stanislaus National Forest. Bigfoot's coming through camp. Hurry up, look out. Bigfoot's coming through camp. And he's about to take down the tent. Hey. Did you hear me? The tent's coming down. Bushy-tailed squirrel. Well, folks, we're about to head out of here, and before we leave, we're going to have some nice green beans. We're going to have some nice green beans. I like to flavor my vegetables with all kinds of seasoning. I got about 8 different seasonings in here. And then we have some beer and bratwurst cooking. It almost, I hate when it does this, the sun. It almost makes you sad to have to leave a place like this when you're drinking awesome beer. Huh? When you're drinking awesome beer, smoking the best bud, eating as good as we're eating, having a good time adventuring. I mean, I got to go on a cable swing today. I can't really call it a rope swing. It wasn't rope. It was, they have these tie downs on tractor trailers, straps, cargo straps. It was hanging from a tree with a piece of wood, and you just hang on and go gliding over the lake. Let gravity take effect. Hi, you're caught on camera. I didn't even know I was filming you doing that. And, you know, like I say, this is a place that's a giant playground. That's what this is. It's a playground. As long as you don't get hurt in that playground, it's well worth coming here to have a good time. So I'm going to continue to cook. I will say my goodbyes in a little bit after dinner. We just have, this is all that's left of our camp, garbage, kitchen supplies, the grill and the cooler. We'll put it in back of the truck, and then we'll make our off-road journey out of the Utica Reservoir region and out of the Stanislaus National Forest through Ebbets Pass and back home. Green beans and beer and bratwurst. Awesome. Awesome. I cannot wait to eat. Yeah, Spider-Man.
Citric acid.
It makes me sad to have to leave. But it was a good trip. I had some ghostly activity off in the woods. I'm going to check down there real quick for tracks right before we go. There's some mud, but I just don't see a lot of human footprints mixed in, so it's kind of inconclusive even if I do find anything. Reservoir is pretty beautiful. It's a lot, very choppy today. There are crawfish and there are catfish in here. I caught a catfish this morning. Better fishing in the Union Reservoir, which is just over the rocks right here. And of course, you guys today were lucky because our backpacking trip involved both reservoirs. We actually hiked between the two reservoirs, and we went down the mountain here. We visited Utica. We went back up and went back to Union. We went back and forth to where we heard the vocalizations. Found a nice track yesterday. Heard vocalizations for 2 days. Some strange activity in the woods. Seen a couple of UFOs. This was a good trip. This was a paranormal investigator's dream. This is one of our last camping trips here in the Sierras till next year. Winter's coming. And it was a good one. It really was thrilling, exciting, full of adventure, rock climbing. Just what more could you ask for? Fishing, football, shooting our crossbow. I mean, it's just a great overall trip, and we're eating good. And right now I have some green beans. I have some French green beans, and I have some nice bratwurst. And look, it's browning quite nicely. It's getting nice and juicy. You see the juices pouring out? Oh yeah, I'm German. You know it. Well, about quarter German. 50% Italian and about 25% Polish. Some of the world's leading scientists are Polish. So don't call me a Polak. Of course, people do anyways. So we're gonna go soon. While dinner's cooking, while it's cooking, we're just gonna.
Going while dinner's cooking?
No. Well, no, I wanted to check down on the rocks at some track down here. But other than that, I'm right here. Well, then we'll eat, we'll pack it up, and we'll off-road. Sun's almost going down. Probably got about 45 minutes of daylight left, believe it or not. Once it goes behind the mountains, that's it. Darkness falls, and right around when darkness falls, the most common time to have a Bigfoot sighting or to see this creature, right around sunset is the most common time we get our vocalizations. Almost every time we do these expeditions, we'll hear them around 7 o'clock when the sun goes down in the fall or the winter time. Sometimes in the summer it's a little later, but right when the sun's going down is when you want to capture audio vocalizations and be out hiking if possible in the area so you can get a good sighting. It's almost time to eat. Check for a few more tracks, and we're heading home. The one thing you're going to learn about me is I'm highly committed to my field of expertise. Cryptozoology, ufology, parapsychology, paranormal investigating. I'm very committed, right to the very end. Because honestly, it's almost sunset, I'm cooking dinner, it's time to go home, we already captured some good evidence, and yet here I am wanting more. It gets addicting, because the more you see, the more you want to do. The more questions you have than you do answers. And so we're never truly done as investigators. We're always trying to look for the best evidence and anything we can build off our cases. If I find more tracks here, it just adds to the case that Bigfoot probably have made this region a habitat. And that could be because of all the tributaries, rivers, and creeks, and seclusion, and of course, most of all, wonderful, pristine bodies of water like Utica Reservoir. And of course, you can see my tracks right here. There's a couple, because my son and I walk through here. It's not all the time you're going to find tracks. And you have to be willing to walk through the mud. And you have to pay attention because this is the dry lake bed. So something could have easily walked through here. See, that's human. You can see treads in those if you look real carefully. Nothing strange. And they may have came from the hiking area that's over here. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that there's no Sasquatch prints out here. I mean, he may come to the water too to have a drink. It's quite possible. I seen some what looked like scratch or claw marks in the ground. Not claw marks, but like fingers in the mud earlier. It was more like a handprint, and I really didn't think much of it. And see, we have some prints here. But they're very small. See how small they are? That's what those barefoot tracks you just seen, I had filmed on the night vision cam up here by this stump. They actually go right across the stump here. They walk around and go all the way. They come from the woods. They come all the way past the stump and go right to the water, and you can tell it's a human. It could be a juvenile, but it looks more like a human foot. You just study it. You can always tell a difference. There's a little bit of an arch. The toes look more like a child's. Bigfoot tracks are a little odd because the toes are often pudgy, sometimes spread out apart very wide, and sometimes very deep. It never hurts to look. The thing is, you want to look at tracks going to the water as if, you know, hey, maybe something got a drink. You want to measure stride, like how, by measuring the stride, you can tell how tall something is. And I seen some bear tracks the other day here. Yep, those are tread. Definitely not Bigfoot. Very muddy too. But you can't say I didn't try looking for tracks. I did promise you guys that I would come out here and do this. And I am, before we gotta go. Just take one last gander, see if I missed anything out in the dry lake beds of Utica. Dry, muddy shores of Utica Lake. My feet are sinking into the mud, and then you hear this squishy sound. That could be bear right there. You see it? You see it? It could be just a giant canine. I can't really tell. My glasses are so dirty right now. I've seen some coyote, wolf, and I've seen some coyote and canine prints. I've also seen some bear tracks. It makes sense. There's water present. And you guys need to, the reason why I'm taking you guys here is simply for one reason. Okay? It's simply to show you where I was hiking at night. See, I would go off into the woods and I'd come out this way and follow it back up to my camp, which is over here. Like I say, one last gander. I mean, that's what I need. One last gander. Make sure I didn't miss anything. When you're in this field, you need to be thorough. This is not something you can just goof off to. It's not a game. We're not here to horseplay. We're really here to get evidence. In between, have a good time, because you only live once, and what we do here is dangerous. I could be standing here and a bear could run down off the rocks and decide to run full speed and get me. You know, it's just, we never know what to expect. We never know what to expect. We never know what's going to happen in life. Life's short. So suck up life while you can. But at the same time, if we're going to take these risks, we want to make sure that we cover every aspect of what we're doing here, which is documenting tracks, measuring them, listening for vocalizations, and like I say, and also being very thorough. And that's how you put out some good cryptozoology, is right to the last minute. You don't get lazy and be like, I don't feel like getting out and walking a few extra 100 feet. It's about going that extra mile, extra length, and possibly putting out some good evidence, like we're trying to do now. Yeah, this is all human. It's too close to some of the camping areas here, and they don't like to come around. But over on the primitive side, where it's almost impossible to get over there, between the two reservoirs, there's definitely vocalizations coming from that area. So I'm gonna head back to camp and eat. It's a nice little jaunt. I covered my grounds. I looked around. There's some bear. I've seen bear, canine, deer, and a lot of human tracks. And you can see these are human, just the way they walk. You know, it's just, the strides are so, that's another thing, very, not only small tracks, human tracks, but you can also see the strides are extremely small, like a foot between each other, and that's not common in Bigfoot tracks. If you get 2-3 tracks, they're usually some nice 6-foot strides. You could tell that whatever made them was about 10 feet in height, which makes it quite a mystery to run into a human that tall or some primate human-like creature. It's quite vast out here. Anything could be out here. There's so many areas man hasn't even stood or explored yet in this region this year. It's true. It's true. Anything could be out there. New species of birds, wildlife, including Sasquatch. So we have to keep an open mind. We have to continue to explore below these tall peaks because, as you know, anything that may live at higher elevations would need to come down to a reservoir like this to hunt, gather fish, bathe, and especially hydrate themselves. Because without water, a mammal such as Bigfoot with hair and a beating heart and living on land would need water to sustain itself. It's a beautiful area, and it deserves a lot of attention. Personally, myself, I think that this is the land of paradise. It's one of the reasons I decided to relocate out here from the East Coast years ago, because I knew that this is where it's at. You have everything: adventure, scenery, history, Bigfoot, UFOs, ghost, serenity.
It's done.
Okay, I'm coming. And it's one of those places that leaves you breathless every single time. Every single time I camp out here, I'm breathless. I just can't believe the things that I see and experience. And so, dinner's done. The bratwurst is done. I'm heading back. So here's another track. Not very large. I'm not going to document it as Bigfoot. Just that would be senseless, because it's not. You can tell with the Bigfoot tracks, you can always tell that they came from one of these creatures, because there's an entirely different pattern to the foot than a human. Size is one of them. He always takes size, stride, depth, width, all those things into consideration. Is it flat-footed? What about the toes? I've seen some of the tracks that I found on my investigations almost look like 4 or 5 big toes. As you know, humans' toes get smaller when you start from the big toe and on. With Bigfoot, that's not always the case. Sometimes all the toes are very large. It's time to eat. I like to get something to eat so that way when I hit the road, I have a full belly off-roading in the Sierras to get out of these locations. So we're going to eat good. And then... Good, I was waiting for that. You have to make sure they're cooked when you get sick. Alright, back at base camp. Time to eat. A lot of human tracks, no Sasquatch, couple bear tracks. My feet are muddy. If they're wet, they're cold, and it feels good. This is Lord Rick. See, folks, the final results. Beer and bratwurst, nice flavorful green beans with some Italian olives, and these cherry tomatoes. They're kind of pinkish red. They're kind of pinkish purplish. Come straight out of my garden. Good for protein after a hike. This is a good, healthy meal. I'm out of here. I'll say my goodbyes after we get everything saved and we're off-roading. Peace out. This is Lord Rick. Oh yeah, you want to throw a piece of cheese on it?
Yeah.
Hurry and open that shit, man. There.
Can you grab that piece of cheese for me too?
Oh, dude, my hands are
I
dirty.
don't care.
He doesn't care.
Grab me one.
It says all my hands are dirty. You think this whole thing has cheese in there?
This is for me, but it's falling apart. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All you gotta do is grab the paper and pull it.
I will.
There you go.
There. There you go. Put some cheese on it. Now it's perfect. Some aged Swiss or aged cheddar? Nope. Got some aged white cheddar, sharp. Perfect for beer and bratwurst. Maybe I'll throw myself a... That's what I wanted to do. Here's caramel. Here's Tammy's caramel. There's my beer. I'm thirsty, so I will drink it. There we go. I throw in some pudding, some Samuel Adams Bonfire Blonde, some manzanilla olives. No, manzanilla olives. Perfect meal. A little bit of health, a little bit of chocolate pudding to kind of even out the calories, and some brew to add to my big beer belly and continue to grow my beard to keep me warm this winter. Alright folks, we're heading out of here. It's been a stellar weekend. It's our last camping trip in the Sierras till 2017. Last 3 camping trips we had lots of Bigfoot evidence that we collected, and even a UFO photo. I mean, the Sierras are never a disappointment when it comes to the paranormal. I normally don't stay at campgrounds, but it's kind of a good hike back here and onto this rocky outcrop overlooking the lake. And there's nobody up here, man. Oh yeah. I've enjoyed off-roading in the new truck that we got. It's awesome. It's a beast. So we're gonna make our way out of the Sierras. Like I said, folks, there's nobody really up here. This is one of these places that you can camp certain times a year up here. It's one of these places that you can camp up here when it's almost winter and around fall, and boy, I mean, there's not a soul up here right now. We have the place to ourselves. Go on. Yeah. There you go. Go on. You can come up here anytime around, or you come up around this time of year, and it's pretty vacated. It's not bad. I mean, these campgrounds they put in are new. Used to be you could just primitive camp right here, and then they put in a bench and a fire pit, and so that's really good for the. I mean, the Stanislaus National Forest has done a good job with their campsites. They're well maintained. I wish they had beer boxes. I mean, if you're going to pay as much as it cost overnight in good faith, leaving your money in a pay box, in good faith, they should put a beer box to help protect the campers. I mean, what is it to put a box? Because I had to keep bringing my food back and forth. I mean, it's very far where we camp. You see that picnic bench all the way over there. But beautiful views, beautiful area, a lot of adventure. And we're going to peel out of here. They do offer a restroom. Basically, it's just a shithole in the ground. And like I say, if they should offer bear boxes. That's probably more important than a place to just kind of bend over and take a crap, you know. But we're out of here. Check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. So we're going to head home. It's a beautiful country. You almost hate to leave, like I said. So we're going to head home. It's a beautiful country. Be a pleasant luxury ride in my new truck. This thing's a beast. Next time you guys probably see it, it'll be painted black. I want something jet black. The windows tinted a little darker. You know, it's just a whole Lord Rick type of thing. Not really. I just think it looks, this model of truck looks better. Painted black with dark windows. It's a beautiful ride out of here. Last night I hiked up in those woods beyond the granite rocks. It's pretty creepy back in here, I'm telling you. It's a lot of wilderness, and you know, there's a lot of wilderness, and where there's a lot of wilderness, you also find a lot of Sasquatch. We're going home. We're gonna leave behind Mr. Peepers. This place is great. I mean, on a Sunday, there's nobody up here, plus the cooler weather setting in, but I mean, this guy's probably living up here and probably gonna stay here for 2-3 weeks, it looks like. I don't know what the guy's living on, but in my opinion, I mean, he'll just stare at the next person.
Turn right on NF7 and 75.
All right, man. Shut up, bitch. So anyways, this guy is probably camping up here a couple weeks. Anybody who probably camps here, he probably fucking snoops on. I'm telling you, I think he was out in the dark the other night ago. Anybody can buy night vision stuff. Even I can buy it if I want it. You know, it's like daylight when you put it on. and just sit there from the trees and look in on people. I mean, the guy goes to bed at like 6 p.m. And then he sits there all day in a chair and doesn't move, and just like stares at you and peeks around the trees and shit. I've caught him peeking on me a few times. It's like, what do you? If you got something to say it, man. Well, folks, enough of that. You know how humans are. Not everybody's fit for camping or should be let loose in the wild. Oh, those rock formations way up there. It's a pretty little place. I have no regrets coming here. This was a hell of a good last camping trip of 2016. A lot of adventure, good eats, good times. GoPro. So check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. This is Lord Rick, your founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society. I want to thank everybody for your support, watching our videos. These videos are truly a log or a diary of the journeys that we've taken over the years. And it's the highest of honors to be able to share it with my viewers, because they get to be a part of something. Even if they're not here, they still get to be a part of something great. And this was a great trip. And I did find some really nice I found some really nice tidbits of mystery, possibly Bigfoot, in the Utica Lake region. And today we visited its sister reservoir, Union. They're only separated by a quarter mile, if that. Sometimes only a couple 100 feet, like where the dam is. It's right there. Elephant Rock, Summit, and Mud Lakes. And then we went off rock climbing along cliffs and ravines in the wilderness. It's been a great trip. And I'll cherish this adventure since it's probably our last camping trip again in 2016. So we'll see everybody for our next Bigfoot expedition in the High Sierras, probably in the spring of 2017, more than likely. And that's when our next camping trip will be. For now, we're going to start focusing on historic sites, cemeteries, ghost towns in the cooler weather until we can come back up in the High Sierras and enjoy the pristine beauty that awaits us, like in the Stanislaus National Forest and the Utica Lake region. So we got about a 90-mile ride home. This is my new truck. Sorry about that, folks. I got a new GPS also. But this is our new truck. I got it in 4-wheel. It also has auto 4-wheel when it's appropriate. So we're heading out. Actually, they call this the Spicer Reservoir, New Spicer Reservoir region, because there's a Spicer Reservoir through the trees. I'd like to go out there next year. There's a lot of good scenic views. I see it. There's a lot of good, you can't really see it from the wood. The forest is thick, but I could see massive peaks on the other end of the reservoir. And they call it, usually people refer to this as a New Spicer Reservoir region rather than what I call it, the Utica Lake or Utica Reservoir area. I guess it depends where you're staying. If you're staying in Utica Lake, it'd be the Utica Lake Basin, Spicer Reservoir, the Spicer Reservoir Basin, etc., etc. So we're going to make our way out. This is a very luxurious truck. I love riding in it. It has good shocks, good 4-wheel drive. It hauls all our stuff. Back's full, but it hauls everything. And so we're able to take extra chairs and supplies, and it made it a pretty nice camping trip. If anybody says you can't have amenities camping, that's not true. We actually have some nice chairs and good solid logs for firewood, not that cheap $3 log you buy and it's gone in like 10 minutes, burns up, you know. But once you reach the Spicer Reservoir Road, it turns paved. I actually see it to the left. It's a gorgeous reservoir, but it's hard to see because the forest is so thick you actually got to pull up on it. Wow, that's pretty. All those volcanic crags. backdrop, and you can't really see it, but the backdrop in the reservoir. So we're back on the pavement. We're not on the highway, but this is the pavement heading out of this reservoir basin. And like I say, I hate to leave the area, but
And on 7 and 1.
I really hate to leave this place. I wish I could stay in this lost paradise forever. However, at the same time, it feels pretty good to try to go get a hot shower and sleep in a nice warm bed tonight. And I'll sure enjoy this ride home. I get to drive through Ebbets Pass. Rascal, get off me. I get to drive through Ebbets Pass. It's one of the most scenic passes. Not the most, but it's one of the most that cross the Sierra Nevada. And if you get to Silver Peak on the top, what a view. But we're not going to see it. It's 7 p.m. and it's about to get dark in about 20 minutes. So the only thing we're going to see is woods and complete darkness surrounding the truck. However, this is yeah, we'll get to try out the new headlights on the truck. See if they're bright enough to capture those deer that like to run out in front of you. And it's a comfortable ride home. My seats are heated. They're very soft leather. Like I say, I don't mind driving 100 miles camping in this thing because it's a comfortable ride and it can handle just about anything. You're dealing with the truck about a half a ton and fully loaded with all the little amenities that a truck guy would love to have, including a tow package and a moonroof, which I always like to have. Big giant mirrors. It's a pretty good truck. This will be the future of our camping trips. So once again, everyone, thanks a lot for watching our videos. I want to say goodnight to everybody. We'll see you out in the Sierras come spring of 2017. We'll see everybody around spring of 2017 for our next major camp out, our next major Bigfoot camping expedition. This is your founder, Lord Rick, aka AngelOfThyNight. That's kind of a hairpin turn. We're leaving, pretty soon we'll be leaving the Stanislaus National Forest and heading home. Peace out.